oh 07, Commander War Mints here, and today I have an update for you for OD Massacre Stack Manager. I've got version 1.1, which has some small back-end changes as well as some requested features. So the first of those features would be I've now added support for multiple commanders. So for those of you who like to run your alt accounts and do Massacre stacks on them, you can now manage all your alt accounts and your main account with just one copy of the application, and there's no need for multiple. This does mean though that I've had to make some changes to the names of the save files, so your existing history from version 1 won't be read by the application anymore. However, that's not a problem because I've also added the ability for it to read your commander's history, and I'll show you how that works right now. So when we load the app for the first time with no save data whatsoever, it will detect the last commander you were logged in with and ask if you want to read the mission history. So this, I'll say, will go through, pass all of your logs and find all of the relevant information for that particular commander. So we will click yes now. It will run through, pass all our logs and populate our list as need be. Now this can take some time, obviously, depending on just how many journal files are currently sitting on your PC. So with a Massacre Studio editing, I'll fast forward through this bit so we're not all just staring at the screen for a few minutes. There you go. You can see it's now run through all of my logs and it's picked up my current missions and progress for said missions for that particular commander. You'll notice there's the drop down in the top right here, and this is where we'll list up our various commanders. We can switch between them. So if I was now to log on with an alt account, it would pick up that and ask us the same question. Right, I'll log on with my alt account now, and there we go. It's picked it up. It'll ask if we want to read the mission history again, which will be reading the same logs, obviously, because FDev save all the logs to the one place, just no matter how many commanders you've got. So it will take just as long as it did for your previous commander, regardless of how much history this one's got. I'm going to click no for now because my account is just used to sit in a shieldless T9 and store trit on my carrier, just in case I ever need it as an emergency. So it's never done any missions, but you can see I can switch between the two. All right, so there's your multiple commander support. The next thing added in is you'll notice there's now a plus and minus next to the kills here, and this is so we can just add and remove kills to all relevant missions as need be. And this is because I've noticed that when you're playing by yourself, whenever you get a kill for the target faction for the missions, it always counts. I've never had it not count in my experience. But when I'm in a wing, quite often I'll receive a bounty voucher for the target faction, but it won't count towards my missions for some reason. And that's even when no other commanders are sharing missions, so those kills aren't going off onto their missions. So I'm not entirely sure what's happening there. Unfortunately, the bounty event information is so limited that I can't seem to work out a correlation there. Hopefully, maybe I will one day, or they'll add more information, or even FDev will be nice and add a mission updated event, so I don't have to listen to kills to try and calculate which missions are counting up. So, like I say, but because of that, you can now add and remove kills to all the relevant missions, and you can still add and remove kills to the relevant missions. But also, to counteract that fact, I've also changed it so the missions won't change white to white here to say that they've been redirected and they're ready to turn in until the game tells it so. So like, say for example, this one here, this one Venarium intro got, if that got to 72 out of 72 kills while you're playing and it's picking up the kills from the bounty logs, you may notice that sitting at 72 out of 72, but it's not turned white. And that's because the game hasn't redirected a mission, and that could be because you've received bounty vouchers, but they haven't counted towards a mission for some reason. So the app won't start counting kills on the next mission until the game tells it that this one is redirected now. All right, so it will just lose the kills for that particular faction in the ether, but hopefully it should all balance out by the time you get to the last few missions. It should all be relatively accurate. All right. As for the bounties though, I've added on the left hand side here a bounty feed now, which just shows your last 20 kills you got across all DLCs, and you know, for the ship type, the target faction and the reward. Unfortunately, when you get a bounty in Horizons, the bounty event from the game still shows the same value it shows in the GUI, so not actually the correct value that you get that you see in your transactions on Horizons. In Odyssey, that's been changed and it's the correct value on both the UI and the bounty event now. But this is just a rough guide, just so you can see what you've just killed. Unfortunately, the information here isn't that great. Like I say, for some reason it calls a crate phantom a crate light. All right. Now, moving on. Next, if we go to our completed missions now, you'll notice we've got a few extra buttons. We've got purge completed, purge abandoned, and read history. So you can read the history again for the current commander, and it will do the same thing it did earlier, run through all the logs and populate the lists accordingly. As you can see, we go through and there's an abandoned mission or a failed mission that's marked in red. The completed ones are marked in green. So say we really didn't care about having them in our history and we never want to look at them, I can just click this button here and boom, they're all gone and things recalculate. You'll notice down in the bottom corner here in the target faction, I've removed some of the irrelevant information here that you get on your actual active missions, you know, such as your current turning value, how many kills or remaining kills to next completion, because, well, these are all completed, so there's no point in that information. And in the completed section, I've also added the date there for the expiry, or for the year, sorry, on the date, so you can see that, whereas that information really isn't relevant on your active missions because it'll be within the next few days anyway, or 7 days at most before it expires. So, and there is that. And that is about it. Oh, no, wait, sorry, one more thing. I have also added support to remember the position of the window when you last open it. So say we move this over and we shrink it down, we close this app now. And then next time we load it, it'll load back up in the same place. And the same thing goes for if it's maximized. So say you had it maximized on one particular monitor, you load it up again, it loads maximized. Now, if this ever gets into a position where you can no longer see it because, I don't know, a monitor's gone down or something, whatever, something strange has happened, if you press and hold left control and press R, that will reset it. It will put it over to your primary monitor in the center of it so you can see it again and maneuver it around. All right. I mean, obviously you can go into the JSON files for the settings and delete the last window position, and then it will just reset to the same position next time you load it. All right. On it, that's about it. Hope you find it all helpful. 07, and I'll see you in the black.